Hey guys, this is Blake from Blank Sanctum, retro site for retro games. Today I am bringing to you a bit of a different video again. This time I am going to show you something quite special, as this particular item is not something I've collected, it's something I've made. So let's swing the camera around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now, I've started getting into collecting strategy guides for games, particularly a lot of old ones I grew up playing. And I loved Starcraft 2, and I actually still have to play it's well, they're not add-ons, but basically the next two campaigns. So I've only done Wings of Liberty, and I actually plan to replay it now because I bought the box set, the Battle Chess box set, as I usually do with Blizzard products once they're all sort of done and finished up. But there were no strategy guides in there, and they usually always put strategy guides in there, so they've abandoned that whole thing, which is a bit of a shame. So I went online and bought them separately, and I discovered there were beautiful hardcover versions here of the various look at this, look at that, full color images of all the missions and everything. They're absolutely stunning guides. And here's the Heart of the Swarm one, so you know, lots of good stuff here, showing lots of things. But then I discovered that there was not one for Legacy of the Void, the Protoss campaign. And that really annoyed me. If you do a Google search, all you can find is forum posts of people complaining about there not being one. And you know, someone like me who's a bit OCD and loves collecting stuff, you know, I was really irritated by that. And I was like, damn it, you know, maybe I can make my own. And so I decided to do it, and as you can see, it worked. And you know, it's not perfect. There's only so much I can do, but it's not far off. Like, I've put some, you know, effort into this, and it's come up pretty good. So I'm going to show you guys how I made this. So if you look here, we open it up. It's got the nice black insert, just like the real ones, which was a nice touch. This is actually the original cover of the guide I chose to use. And you know, it's not as, obviously, it's not going to match the Brady Games guide because the effort they put in is insane. But this one's pretty good. So I'll show you guys where I got this from, and which website I used to create the book. And also I'll put up the images that I created to make the cover. So as you can see, this is the other side here. Because I had to make this, I had to find a good Protoss Legacy of the Void poster for the game, black and white it, use the black sort of, almost like a bubble effect that puts black around the edges in a circular fashion, and stretch it and change the size a bit so it kind of had the style of these ones. Now, if you're someone who's got the regular Brady Games guides that aren't the limited hardcover ones, then obviously this isn't going to help you a great deal. You're going to need to make your own cover, and that'll probably be harder because those original covers have a lot more, you know, logos and writing and stuff all over. So someone more talented than me is probably going to need to do that. But if someone does, I'll post it on in the description below in this video how to do it. So if you guys don't see anything down there, it means no one's contacted me yet with a solution to that one. Sorry, but either way, I'll put all the stuff to make this lovely hardcover one on there, so you guys can complete your collections too. Let's do it. Okay, so firstly we're going to need to get our hands on a PDF strategy guide for Starcraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Now, there are several out there, and I'll provide direct links to them in my instructions in the video description, but for the purpose of this video I'll show you how I found them. So I'll go Starcraft 2 Legacy of the Void. It's remembered because I think I've searched for it previously, obviously, and we'll go strategy guide. Okay, so there are two that I've found, one at GamePressure.com and one at IGN, and I wasn't able to find any others. At GameFAQs is just, you know, usual user written ones in text files and stuff, which isn't, you know, really what we want if we want to have a nice colourful book with lots of images and stuff. Now, I ended up going with the GamePressure one. I think it was mainly because it was the first one I found, and I can't remember how, but I think I was able to have a look at a bit of a preview of it and see what kind of a guide it was like. And I think there's an online one as well, possibly, that you can look at too. But anyway, I elected to download as a PDF. Now it costs about $3 or $4. So sadly there's no free guides out there, because obviously that it's a book full of pictures, and it's made in a printable format. It's not just a flat out copy of the website version. So they obviously had to pay someone to spend lots of hours putting all that together. So it's not a service that's free. So it's about, I think it's about $3 or $4. And if anyone asks, no, I'm not going to give you my copy. I spent money on it, so you have to as well. and plus, if I was to start handing out free copies, and these guys found out about it, they'd come after me, not you. So that's no. And besides, $3 or $4. It's like less than a drink in a bar. I'm sure you can handle it. Now, there's also the IGN one, and this guide actually might be better, because obviously we all know IGN. It's a big site. It's quite popular, and they've got an online guide here as well. The only issues, I'm not quite sure, like whether you can just get the PDF on its own and just pay for that, or whether you have to sign up to this whole Prime thing. Hopefully not. Hopefully you can just create an account and then just buy that particular PDF. But I don't know. Either way, I just went for the easy option, which was the GamePressure one. So if someone wants to investigate the IGN one and let me know if it's a better guide and whether it was easy to get your hands on, put it in the comments and I'll update my guide for anyone else who comes and checks out this video. So once you've purchased and downloaded the guide, you'll have the PDF file ready to go. And now there's going to be several problems, which I'll get into in a minute, that sadly prevent you from simply just loading this into a book printing PDF site. Basically, as you can see already, part of the problem here, this first page is really long and thin. It's different to the rest of the book. See, that's a normal size page, and then that's like a really long skinny page. So there's a bunch of other pages like that we're gonna have to fix up, but I'll get to that in a minute, because the next thing we're gonna need is a cover. Now, to get the cover, once again, I just did a Google image search, and I'll host my cover that I made up if you guys are just happy to use that. But if someone reckons they can do a better job, which I'm sure plenty can, then I'll show you where I got the source material from. So we'll go with Starcraft 2. Oh, we'll just do this, save us time again. Legacy of the Void. And poster. Go to images, and you get lots of, as you can see, there's lots of different ones out there. Now, owners of the hard covers of the previous two Starcraft episodes would know that it's basically a black and white image with a close-up of the face, and there's no writing. So something like this is pretty good, where that's a bit different. There's a weapon in the way, but it would probably work reasonably well. But there's other ones for those who keep looking really hard, like that one. That's getting pretty near. And I think I just kept looking and looking until I found a couple that I really liked, and in the end, that was. Let me see, there was this one, which was like that other picture, but the writing's over here, which is similar to where it needs to be in the book, but of course it's still not quite the way we want it. And of course you still got two other dudes' heads in there, which doesn't really fit with the other covers either. However, owners who want to make like a soft cover, like the other Brady games soft cover guides, they of course were full color images with logos and all kinds of stuff. Maybe this one might be good for that. But in the end, I managed to find this one, and I thought, my god, this one is perfect. I mean, look at it. It's close up on the face, got the big shoulder stuff. There's no writing. It is perfect to use as a template, as a cover to match the previous two episodes. So what I did was I grayscaled it, as you can see here, and then I sort of put in like a darkish sort of border around it to match, because that seems to be what they did on the official ones for the previous two episodes. And then I pretty much got what I want, but the last thing I needed was a logo. Now, the logo, most of the Legacy of the Void logos that I found seem to be either purple or blue and things like that. And though they were already used. Like if you look at the books for the other 2 episodes, you'll see that the human one, Wings of Liberty, is blue, and the Zerg one is purple. And so I thought, well, I've got to have a different colour. Surely that's what they would have done. So thankfully I found this lovely yellow one that makes it unique and different to the others. And there was no other garbage around it, just blackness. So I was able to take this and then mount it into the image. And but this was the final product, where I sort of dark and blurred. I put in the limited edition strategy guide to match what the other books had, and I also made sure I got the size right. If you look down here, 1800 times 1200, because as you'll soon see, when you upload your custom cover to this PDF bookmaking website, there's no adjustments. They don't allow you to resize anything, so it has to pretty much fit the equivalent of a wraparound picture around a 8.5 inch times 11 inch size book. And so of course I had no idea what I needed, so I just kept playing around. I eventually got this size so that seems to wrap around it correctly. So other people might want to play around a bit more and get a bit more out of it. But basically this is the file I'll provide you guys with on my description. Okay, so now that we've got our PDF guide and our cover made up, we just need a bookmaking website. Now there's a whole bunch out there, but none of them seem to give me the options that I wanted, like Presto Photo did. So I went with them. However, I bet anything there's probably other good options out there, and I can, this didn't end up being very cheap. Let me put it that way. So you don't only do this if you're a really serious collector and you want that book, like I did. Because this is the starting price. We're going to put a big book through this, so it'll end up going up. But anyway, so I worked out that the Silk 120 book was more what we want, because that creates the shinier pages, whereas the matte is not shiny at all. And if you look at the official 2 first episode guides, they had shiny pages. And we also want a shiny cover as well, because the other books, even though they weren't that shiny, they had the sort of the reflective writing and stuff, so we can at least sort of fake a bit of that effect. So yeah, Silk 120 was the one I went with. But hey, it's your money. If you want to try out some of the other ones and let me know the results in the comments, you go right ahead. But the problem is, before we go ahead and start doing this, there are some problems which I mentioned earlier, and I'll show you what I mean. So here is a test one that I was mucking around with, where, as you can see, what I was talking about earlier, it wraps the cover around, and I've sort of got the right size now, so it appears to be fitting in the borders okay. They'll put a little bit on the back page as well. There's nothing you can do about that unless you pay them and become a member, but I don't mind it, a little thing on the back. The official books had a little thing on the back. It just happens to say something different on ours. But the problem we had is, once you elect to preview, I think there's a layout preview, you hit that button, it brings up this window. This PDF has failed to meet specifications. Now what the problem is when these sites, when you upload your PDF to these sites, they will look at the first page and go, oh, okay, the book is going to be in this size, and any other page that doesn't match this first page is wrong. Which is actually the opposite to what we want, because the rest of the book pretty much is right, and there's just the first page and a couple of other pages that are wrong. And so, when I first did this with these guys, I missed this. Or maybe I saw it and I didn't understand it, because it's the opposite to what I wanted to see, which was, that there were 3 pages wrong, not the entire book wrong. And I went to hit buy now to proceed. I purchased the book, it was all done. When I went to try and purchase it, I did notice that I couldn't seem to select the original book I want. I was forced to select an A4 soft cover, and I was all annoyed and couldn't understand what went wrong, but I sort of just gave up and went ahead with it because I figured it was better than nothing. But thankfully, these guys at Presto Photo, they stopped me. They sent an email going, we've rejected your application because your book is full of problems and that will heavily affect the physical product. You need to resize the first page. and as it turned out, several others too. And so I'm very thankful to them for stopping, because that allowed me to go back, fix these problems, and then that gave me the proper hard book, shiny cover thingo options that we wanted in the correct size, which was the 8.5 times 11 inch, which is similar in size to the official booklets for the other 2 episodes. So I heeded this warning, and I went back, and I'm going to show you guys how I fixed it for free. So we're going to need to fix this PDF from GamePressure, and to do that we need to fix 3 pages that are the wrong size. Now we've obviously discussed the first one is wrong, but if we go here to the page thumbnails, you'll find that there are 2 other pages as well, page 64 and page 126. So 64, here it is. See how it's longer? It's a bigger page than the others. And the reason I know it's bigger is because look at the zoom, 78.8, and then you go to this one and it's had to zoom out to fit it in. So it actually is a bigger page. And they've done it because there's obviously some giant long map for this mission, and they didn't want to mess with the dimensions. But for our book printing purposes, we need to mess with the dimensions. So there's that one, and down 126. Oh, and I should also point out it's the 64th page in the document, but you know, it's written as page 63 because they don't count the cover, so don't get thrown off by that, guys. So we want 126 as well. Here it is. See how it's a little bit different, not quite as long but still pretty long. Another big map. And so yeah, page 126 in the document, page 125 written in the book. So to fix this, we're going to need a PDF editor. Now, if you've got the full Adobe suite, then you can probably do this quite easily. I don't. I've got it at work actually, but if I recall back when I was making this book, I was on holidays and I couldn't wait. I was like, I want to, make a Christmas present to myself. I think I was thinking at the time or something. It was about 6 months ago, and I was determined to do this from home without too much trouble. So I went hunting for online PDF editing websites, and I found this one, Sejda. I don't really know how to pronounce it properly, but there are a ton. Once again, there are a ton of PDF editing sites. There is a ton of sites that offer a downloadable PDF editor, and they all have their advantages and disadvantages. Most of them, of course, will want money for extra features. So of course, the moment you try and upload a big book like this one, they'll be like, nope, this book's too big, either by file size or page count, and they'll reject you. But thankfully, these guys let me. So hopefully these guys stick around. If they disappear, well, we'll have to work together as a community to find some other alternatives. In fact, if you guys know better alternatives, easier ways, things like that, put it in the comments and I will add it to the guide so that we can all benefit. But this site's great though. I mean, in the end, it's very easy to use, and the product, like, I saw no loss in image quality. I've done a side-by-side comparison of my edited PDF and the original PDF from GamePressure, and I could not see any quality drop in the pictures because they were already not the most amazing quality anyway. So it didn't look any worse. So you just got to drag and drop the file. So we get our little GamePressure PDF, and we drag into here, and it starts uploading it. Now you'll see there's a green line. Here it is, a green line. It'll get bigger and bigger as it slowly loads the PDF. So what's cool is you can actually start working on the document now in the first few pages while you're waiting for it to load. But of course we need to edit multiple pages, and one of them is very far down. So I'm going to fast forward through this bit and let it load. Okay, she's all loaded. So this is their online PDF editor, and like I said, it's pretty easy to use and pretty good. So, however, of course, it suffers from the same problem that Presto Book did in probably most sites, in that it looks at the first page and goes, okay, this is the size that we're working with. And so if I try to delete any pages and insert new pages in, they will come in at this horrible long size we don't want. So to fix this problem, we're going to have to basically remove this first page, which is throwing it off, and then save it, download it, re-upload it again to this site, and it will then have the correct size we want. A little bit annoying, but you know, it's not hard to do. Not hard at all. So, well, now this is where you guys have to make a decision for yourself. If you want, you know, this cover's a little bit weird. It's not that very, you know, it's not very Starcrafty. So if you want to get rid of it, because remember, this is not going to be the cover that's on the front of the book. It's just going to be within the book. So I left it in there just to be complete. But if you want, you can delete it and not put it back. But if you're going to do what I did and put it back, this site, what it's doing is it's displaying every page to us as a high quality PNG, meaning there's, you know, bugger all compression. So what you can do is you can right click on that image and go save as, and then save as, like, you know, whatever you want to call it page 1 if you like, so you can remember where on earth you need to put it back. So you save it as page 1, and then you delete it. Now I've already saved it, so that's why I hit cancel on that. Don't you hit cancel, you hit save. So now there's a little trash can here, so we delete that, and we got rid of that page. Now we go down, because that's going to throw out the page count a bit, so we've got to make sure we don't delete the wrong page. This is the one, isn't it? Yeah. 63 in the document, and now of course it says 63 because we deleted the first page. So we'll delete this one. You guys will go right click, save as, call it page 64 or whatever, delete, and then you will go down to 126. But of course now, because we've deleted 2 pages, it'll be further up. Here it is. Yeah, this is definitely it. Right click, save as. Yeah, that one too. Okay, so all our naughty pages have been removed. So we can now hit apply changes. It will now make the PDF quite quick, actually. I didn't even have to fast forward that. And you just hit download, and you've downloaded your edited PDF ready to re-upload. So we've now got our edited Starcraft PDF, and I've hit the start over button at Sejda. So I'm dragging our edited PDF back onto the site. It's going to upload it. As you can see, that first page is still missing, so it's going to basically take this second page here, which is the correct size we want, of 8.5 times 11 inches, and it's going to go, okay, the document is meant to be this size, so any new pages we insert will be at that correct size. So once again, we need to wait for this page to load. I will skip this part. So those 3 pages that we downloaded, as you can see, these are mine that I downloaded, and I gave them their appropriate page number so I don't forget where they came from. And what you need to do is you just need to load them up in your favorite image editing program of choice. You can even do it in simple paintbrush that comes with Windows, and you need to resize their resolution back down to the correct size. Now, if you were to right click and download one of the other pages from the document which is in the correct size, you would see that they seem to come down at 1600 times 2070. So resize these pages. I've already done it, so that's why I've got that resolution there now, but you'll need to resize your 3 pages to be at that resolution down there, and that will give you the correct sizes to put back into the document. So this is now ready to go. It's ready to be inserted. Okay, so while we were editing those PNGs, the PDF is finished uploading. So what we need to do is we need to insert page here, and you'll find one of these links at the top of every page in the document. So now I've got a nice new blank page 1. So what we do is we go to this image menu item here, and you go new image, and it's already remembered from my test run, but you'll need to go find wherever you save these images, and we're working off them. Go insert, and see, look at this. It's attached to my mouse. Very clever, considering this is all online based. It's actually and it's still uploading it. Look at the green bar. Very clever. That's why I went with these guys. It's just they seem to be leagues ahead of other people's, which was quite impressive. So really, all right, just put it there then, and just sort of okay, maybe it's not quite the perfect fit. So maybe well, I downloaded the correct, it was the resolution the other pages came in, so I guess it's just a matter of resizing yourself to make sure it comes in a bit better. Just there. It's not gonna, is it? Hang on, let's see if it lets you do uneven. Yeah, see, it's still not. Just keep tinkering with it until you get it how you want it, guys. There we go. That's it. And what about down here? It's pretty good. I think it is keeping the aspect ratio, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Oh, that'll do. It's good enough. Alright, so that's one. So we go all the way down to the 60s. What do we got? Where are we at? We're in the 40s. So we want more. 62, but it says 61 here, so we need to be around there. Yep, okay. So this is it. So we need to insert page here, and once again, images, new image, page 64. Just click within the page, drag it around. I mean, look at this, it's still uploading it, and we're quite impressive really how that works. So I'll get it right. So I'm doing a better job this time. And just a touch more. I think it actually clips to the page, so in the end all this tinkering I'm doing isn't really needed that much, but look at that. So we've got a nice new page 64, 60/63 that fits in there. Last of all, we want our replacement 126/125 here. Let's see, let's test the theory. Just did it snap it back? No, it didn't. Okay, great. Oh, see, there you go. Now I'm going to pay for that. There we go. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Come on. There we go. Okay, good enough. We have fixed our PDF, so it's all done. We just need to go apply changes. I think it just said one more free save left for me, because I've been doing all these test runs, so don't you guys worry about that. Just don't stuff it up too many times and you won't get that message. So there's obviously a limit with these guys of how many times you can use their site, so be careful of that. So there you go. Now we download it and we've got our PDF ready to go. We can get back to the bookmaking site now. Right, so we're back at Presto Photo and we're going to hit our hardcover Silk 120, create. You can design all kinds of crazy stuff if you want using the website, but we're going to upload a PDF. And give it a name. We're going to call it video this time. And it's already selected on photo book, which is what we want. Well, our photo book just happens to contain lots of writing. So you can just drag a file onto here. So we'll go to our final copy, which is edited, because of course we had to do it twice to fix that problem. Drag it. Alright, that's ready to go. Cover options. My cover is a full wrap image, just like the real ones for the last 2 episodes. We want the image to go down the side of the book. We got our covers, we've got my final cover there. Drag it, drop it, and then you hit upload, and it will upload both items. I will obviously fast forward through this because it's going to take a while. Okay, so our book and cover have been uploaded successfully, and as you can see they give you this guide, and this is what I originally used to get my cover just the right size, because as you can see the pink area is the trim area for the hardcover, so that's what we need to keep an eye on. And as you can see, everything fits, and the gap from the edge to the writing is roughly similar to those official books for the previous 2 episodes. And now they put some stuff on the back page, this Presto Photo stuff here. You can play with it a bit, but you have to basically pay them and become a professional member to have that removed. But you know, who cares? Like, I'm pretty sure the official books have something like Brady Games or something like that written on the back area, if I recall. So you know, ours just has something a little bit different. But you can control where it is. Like, you can put it like on the left or on the bottom. You can update cover, and it should reload on the left. There we go. But otherwise, everything's pretty much how you want it. Now, to make sure there's no errors, click on Layout Preview, and that'll bring up the window you guys saw earlier. I've already done it because it takes a while to load. And as you can see, this time there's no errors, and it's loaded all our lovely pages. It shows the cover, and it's got, as you can see, resized page 1 fits just as well as all the others. I mean, will crop a little bit of the edge stuff on, but you know, who cares? It's a bit of rock. Everything else will fit good. We'll go down to 64. That's all fitting in nicely. Seems to be cropping at a similar kind of location to the regular pages. It almost looks there that it's going to chop off the writing, but don't worry, it doesn't. It just fits in the final product. So, next stage is we hit Buy Now, which takes you to the completion area where you once again pick your book size. Now, this didn't work on my test run when I tried to use the original book from GamePressure. I got no options here, which means obviously possibly because of the incident with me earlier on this year, they've actually upgraded their, well, I don't know if it's security, but you know, they've upgraded their processes to stop people accidentally doing what I did and sending them books with all sorts of wacky sizes. If you've got errors, it will not let you get to this stage. So the fact that we fixed those errors has taken us to where we want it to be. So we wanted hardcover with silk, 120 photo paper, and yeah, you basically just hit add to cart. We don't want matte lamination. Oh, look at that, you can remove the logo from the back cover. It's just going to be $10, that's all. In fact, I think that price is a bit less than what I paid last time around, so that's actually not too bad. And I'm pretty sure that's American value, dollars. So here in Australia, I think it ended up being about, I don't know, 85 or $90 or something for me. So you know, it's not that cheap to get this done. But let's face it, you would have paid that amount or more to get the original, you know, Brady games ones for the first 2 guides. So you know, if you've already spent the money, you want to have this nice collection, then you know, why not treat yourself and get this one made. But once again, you know, these are the sites I found. I tried a lot of others, didn't get the results I wanted, so I went with these. But there was endless results in the Google search, you know, results. So I mean, you guys might be able to find a better site that's easy to use for editing PDFs, for making the books, and in total costs less. So you know, there are other options out there, and if you find them, let me know. I'm you know, not going to be put off or annoyed if you found a cheaper deal. I encourage you to find one and let me know, and I will put it on the guide for everyone to benefit from. So yeah, that's it. That's how I made this book. So if any serious collectors out there want to do the same thing, then I hope you enjoyed this guide. Bye.